I gotta do my famous sit. Hi, my name is Dante Lorenzo, and I'm here with What Type Time Home Edition.
Alright, cool, thank you.
Nice.
Who is Dante?
Dante doesn't exist. Dante is an identifier for my soul that happens to be in a bag of skin. And this soul is an energy that is constantly moving and changing and experiencing this human season of the soul's life. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. What does Dante like to do?
Dante's very introspective. So I'm a thinker, sometimes to a detriment. So I like to think, I like to pontificate, I love to speak, and I like to connect with people. Yeah, I think thinking is a beautiful thing because thinking is our brain is the thing that allows us to manifest, the more fulfilling things about this human experience. But transversely, I think it is also, the brain is so creative and imaginative that sometimes we can create realities that are not true, that trigger emotions and, dysregulate our nervous system, which, can contribute negatively to the human experience that we have here. So thinking is it's a blessing and a curse. Really the beauty in it is being able to acknowledge what is real and, accept that your thoughts don't actually belong to you and you can put more energy into some than others.
What does Dante like to eat?
I really like chicken in most forms. Chicken tenders, the OG. I love grilled chicken. I love, turkey bacon. Any meat, really. I like black beans and rice. I like black bean chips. I'm so boring. Like my palate is really not that extensive. Of course, I appreciate more colorful and tasteful foods, but yeah, fruits, meat, and I love a good pretzel. My initial answer was a living hell. It kind of was, but I think it's only because, I feel that I'm transitioning out of who I was into who I'm becoming. And I think there's this moment in time where you really have to sit down with yourself and accept that this person that you were cannot exist if you want to become someone anew. And it's really hard to let go of that if you've been comfortable being this person for a long time. So the unlearning is difficult. The learning is the easier part. And I think that's what my summer was. It was a mixture of like really high highs and super duper low lows. And as fall approaches, which is the best time of the year, fight me, I feel myself leveling out a little bit. I always feel a little bit more of refocus when the fall comes. So to answer the last part, I think our mental health is very closely tied to our physical health. There's a book called The Body Keeps a Score. If you have not read it, please go read it. It's very dense, but it's also really helpful. And I think that the way that we choose to live our lives, specifically when things are awry and you're struggling to focus, I think the best thing to come back to is the body, mind, body, and spirit. And then and only then, if you're honest with yourself, you can sort of navigate the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts that can bring you back to a place of focus. For me, this summer, I think my mistake was that I chose to ignore my capacity because I wanted to reach a goal that felt like it was the right thing. And it's not that it wasn't the right thing, but everything is a process and nothing needs to be rushed. And I think that more people should take their time doing things. So, yeah. Yeah, this is a really intense question because I grew up in church. So I grew up as a Christian and I did some, worship leading, some youth pastoring. And for a long time, Jesus, God was my, I have a cross on my arm. I got a cross on my leg. I don't practice Christianity anymore because, it didn't make sense to me. But I do believe in a source, a higher power, an energy that, we all call it something different, whether it be Allah, Hare Krishna, Jesus, whoever, Buddha. It's all the same energy. So I do find myself spiritual. I would like to get a little bit more connected to that part of myself. I think I need to be more intentional. But I think the thing that keeps me somewhat grounded is I call that energy love, you know? And I find that if I refocus myself to love, things sort of fall into place. And I can, you know, we can find that within ourselves, and we can find that outside of ourselves. And so spiritually, that's sort of where I'm at right now.
Good. When you were practicing Christianity, was there a verse that you still remember to this day that stood out?
I don't remember exactly what the verse was, because I've completely tuned out the entire Bible. But there was a verse about if the birds don't have to worry what they're going to eat, why do you need to worry about blah, 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 blah? And it was this, the entire thing, the point of it was, you know, the natural world that we dwell in, right? So we're sort of like colonizers to the earth and how the earth was intended to be. And we build all these things and we create all these things, and we get so tied up in like the cog of it all, and we're like, oh, I gotta work the job to pay the bills, to da-da-da-da-da. You know, it's like this thing, I'm rambling, but the people say you get the job to pay the bills, to buy the car, to put the gas in the car, to go to the job, to pay the bills, you know? And it's just this process. And I think that if we slow down a little bit more and realize that we have more than what we need. Every morning I do a gratitude, and I've done it for probably the last 200 days. And when you shift your perspective to gratitude, then you stop worrying as much. And I think that reminder of like the birds, these natural things that don't live by the standards that we live by, that are way less intellectual than we are. They behave better than we do, and they care less than we do, and they're alive. There are billions and billions of birds in the world that are alive every day. Probably, I don't remember all of them, because sometimes, you know, like it's a discipline, and that, you know, even if I don't feel like, or if I'm having a shitty day, or I had a shitty day the night before, I'll just wake up and be like, I'm grateful for my pillow, just to get it out of the way, like it's a chore. The one that I really enjoyed, and it was a big realization, was I'm grateful that I'm able to navigate stressful situations so that I can get to the next step, right? So it's this ability to, even though I don't respond the best way all the time, in recollection, I can do a little bit of dissecting, and then, you know, hopefully move past it. But yeah.
Okay.
I want to regurgitate everything that I've heard people say about style, which is like style should be a manifestation of how you express yourself. I believe that is true. I think for me, I've always fallen into style that is more widely accepted by everyone. So for a long time, I mean, even now I'm wearing pretty basic run-of-the-mill stuff. But
Can you flash us your cakes?
Yeah. Got the retros, you know, these were a gift. You know, I would never buy these by myself. But I think style and fashion is, I think it's an opportunity to transform and sort of like, what is the phrase when you like, you shapeshift. I think it's an opportunity to shapeshift our silhouettes, how we present ourselves to the world, colors. It gives us this opportunity to be like a chameleon, or almost like how an octopus, you know, changes their shape and color. Yeah, I think it's a manifestation of transformation and shape-shifting. It's a superpower.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your go-to outfit when you feel at your best?
All black.
What is your go-to outfit when you feel at your worst?
All black.
If you could rate anyone's closet, who would it be and why?
RuPaul.
Okay, why?
He is so unapologetically himself, and I appreciate and admire and almost envy how brave he is in the way that he wears his clothes, even in how he does drag. I mean, I think he has probably a lot of cool archival pieces from rather well-known designers from today and yesterday.
What's one fashion trend you regret trying?
Skinny jeans.
What is the most expensive piece of clothing you own?
Probably these jeans.
How much?
$75.
Who are they?
Levi.
Can you give us a Dante? We're Levi, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What is your favorite fashion era, and why did it inspire you?
I think right now I like where fashion is. You know, I like that. I like that like classical style, that old money style is coming back, but it's really like zhuzhed up with like crop tops and like, you know, newer shoes. You know, maybe the hairstyle is a little bit different. People have tattoos now, which becomes a part of the fashion canvas. And I really appreciate, but can never pull it off, Y2K. Yeah.
Word. I feel that. We do love some Y2K.
Yeah.
What's a fashion rule you love to break?
You don't need to always put together an outfit. Like, just put clothes on. It doesn't have to be coordinated.
Thanks. If you could only wear one color for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Do you know? Do you have an idea?
Black.
It would be black. Yeah.
All right, what's the ultimate fashion guilty pleasure?
Underwear. Which is, I mean, I don't know if it's fashion, but for me, I get to see myself in it. So I think underwear and probably shoes. When I have money, shoes are an actual guilty pleasure.
I love it. And that's on what type time?
And that's on What Type Time Home Edition.
Thank you. Last but not least, if the world should know one thing, what should it be?
That no one is getting out of this alive, and you have to really consider what actually matters and think to yourself, is this thing that I'm overreacting about, or is this thing that I'm experiencing that makes me think my life is over, or that I'm experiencing so much doom, will it matter a year from now? And I think that more people should be serious about taking chances and taking risks. So yeah, none of us are getting out of this alive, and we just have to accept that and live in the now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.